Hello there and welcome to the DBP Pest Control channel. Well, hello there and welcome to another video from DBP Pest Control with me, Doug Boyce. And this week I'm off after a fox later on this evening. And I thought I'd give you the opportunity of seeing the kit in the daylight that I'll be using this evening, and it comprises of this. Now this particular fox has been proving a bit troublesome. He's coming over from the woods over in the distance there, across this field, and making its way down to a chicken coop which is just beyond that hedge there, and it's been prowling around worrying the chickens of a night time, and I can't help feeling it's only a matter of time before he breaks in there and starts helping himself. So tonight I'm on a bit of a mission. So I've decided I'm going to use my CZ 527 American, which is in 22 Hornet caliber, and I don't know if you can see that in the available light here. I'll probably get it out in better light in a second, but it's essentially, as I say, a 22 Hornet, which is the smallest centerfire caliber you can get, but very, very effective up to about 200 meters on fox. Now mounted on top of this, I've got my older Pulsar N970 night sight, which is a fantastic unit at night. One of those unfortunate ones that, although it does say on the box usable during the day, it doesn't give the best image, to be fair, and they really come into their own with an additional IR unit planted on the top there at night time. Superb image. So given that the distances could be out there 100, 200 meters, I've decided not to use the 17 HMR this evening, so I'll be going for this. And as you see, it's got a rather large moderator on the front, which helps quieten it down. Still quite a crack, but usable, very usable. This particular one, this model, the 527, has got a set trigger. So once you've loaded the ammunition, you can actually push this trigger forward, click, and that makes it almost a hair trigger. Very, very fine control indeed. Now just to show you, this is the 22 Hornet round. It's not a big round, but it packs a hell of a punch, certainly more than the 17 HMR or any rimfire, the WMR included. That's flying along with a 40 grain bullet at over 3,000 feet per second. So you can imagine the devastating effect that has at reasonable ranges on foxes. I have yet to have a second shot. Let's put it that way. That's the 22 Hornet centerfire. So, but before any of that, I'm going to take you down to the Leisure Matters range to show you another little gem that I picked up recently in the form of a BSA Scorpion. So stay tuned, I'll be back in a second. Coming to you live from the Leisure Matters rifle range down in Eversley, and this is what I was wanting to show you. Now, those of you who follow my channel, you'll know that I bought a Gamo Coyote a few months back, which has been really good. But what I really wanted at the time was one of these. Now, this is a BSA Scorpion. Now I've got a couple of Ultras, an R10, and I really like the look of the Scorpion. Essentially it's an Ultra on steroids with larger air supply and bits and bobs on it. Now this one came up for sale when I went into my local gun shop for some pellets, and came out with this. Typically, you know how it goes, lads, don't you? So yeah, when I picked it up, it actually had a horrible HFT stock on it, which somebody had put on there. To be fair, I don't think it was actually meant for a Scorpion anyway, and the hole under here that they put in by hand for the pressure gauge looked as though it had been scooped out with a spoon. It was horrible, and it didn't fit the stock particularly well, so it was all wobbly. So I sent off to BSA and I got a genuine composite stock, which looks a lot nicer, fits, and obviously handles a hell of a lot better. So essentially what I've got here is it's a 177, which is strange to me because I haven't had a 177 since I was a kid. It's regulated. It's got the over barrel moderator on it, which I've done to my specific colour scheme, which I do on all my rifles. It's rather nice, I think. And then on the end here, they've put on an aftermarket filler and combined pressure gauge. This is all I'm just trying to see who it is. I think it's Huma. It's got a Huma regulator on it, and still retains the old gauge, and I might well take that off because there's no point in having one at both ends. They read exactly the same pressure, so this isn't a case of regulator pressure versus cylinder pressure, so that might come off. But I have to say, it's a lovely little rifle. Oh, oversized stainless steel bolt I think has been fitted, and I put a Hawk 3/9 by 40 scope on it, which I have a particular liking for, and it shoots really well. Pellet on pellet, literally at 30 meters. Very pleased with it indeed. In a minute I'm going to pop my pard on there and just show you some shots taken at 30 meters, although the sun seems to have gone in now a bit, but I'll be shooting down at that target there. Zoom in a bit for you. So that's 30 meters from the firing point. So we'll see how it does, but there you go, my latest acquisition. So there we have it, my little second-hand BSA Scorpion 177, proving its worth there. Very accurate. I didn't go to any great lengths to take those shots, but 8 of the 10 are certainly through the same hole, so I can't complain about that. And it's already proved its worth in terms of live shooting. I took 4 rats with it night before last, and a couple of pigeons into the bargain around the farm where I was earlier. So yeah, certainly a good buy, and something I'll be using more and more on an ongoing basis. So join me a little bit later and we'll pick up over at the other place where we'll be after that fox later on. Just as a matter of interest to anyone thinking that we closed down for the winter, we've actually just installed lighting. on the all the ranges, the archery, the axe throwing and the shooting ranges. So don't let the dark put you off. If you want to do a bit of shooting, don't feel you've got to reserve it just for the daytime, because we can accommodate you at leisure matters on any of the ranges that you fancy, specifically of course as it applies to us, the shooting ranges. So yeah, get yourselves down here, have a bit of evening shooting, and if you're really nice to me, I might even bring my night sights down. You can have a go at those as well. Well, here I am at the farm. It's getting on for about 7:45. So we're going to have a look to see if we can bag this fox this evening. It's been causing trouble over in the chicken run there. As shown earlier, I've got my 2.2 Hornet with the Pulsar N970 night sight. Now this one requires an outboard recorder, so you can actually record the action through the cam. So I've got a little Yukon device on the side there, and of course an infrared illuminator on the top. So it could be a bit of a wait, it could be very quick, but I've got my Pulsar thermal spotter here, so we'll start off by using that, see if we can spot the fox, and then go from there. Now earlier today when I was here, I put a ladder up against an empty diesel tank that overlooks the field there, so that's a good vantage point because it gives me a position where I can shoot down, which is gives you a safer shot. So I'll just go and set up, and we'll see how we do. Okay, so I'm set up in my usual position on this permission, which is having put a ladder up the back of an old diesel storage tank, and that allows me to see across the field that we're interested in. So it's just a question of scanning with the thermal and see if we can see anything. Sometimes this takes quite a while, sometimes it takes 5 minutes. Now, what doesn't help on these occasions is the fact that it's a really full moon, so potentially any movement on my part gets picked up by anything out there that might be watching. Now, it was overcast when I arrived, but in the 10 minutes or so I've been here, all the clouds have gone and I can now virtually read by moonlight. It's that bright. So hey ho, we'll persevere. Well, just seen 2 heat signatures out there. You can just see the eyes glinting in the infrared now. About 210 meters, I would say. Let's have a 207, 208 meters, and you can see fairly conclusively, even at that distance, by the way they're moving, that they're rabbits. Well, after a fairly long wait, I managed to bag the fox. It was actually sat on top of the bales that cover or surround the silage heap. So let's go and check it out. Unfortunately, it arrived just as I was getting ready to pack up, and I didn't even have time to record it. So we'll go and have a look anyway, see what we've got. Okay, so it's a reasonable sized fox, as you can see. Let's just find out what it is. It's a vixen, good condition. This one actually did take 2 of the chickens from the coop last night, fairly early on in the evening, as it happens. So hopefully there aren't any more around, and the chickens will be safe for the time being. So there you go. Thanks to the 2-2 Hornet, very clean kill there. I went for a heart and lung shot, and very effective it was too. Dropped like a stone, which is exactly what you want. You don't want them to suffer at all. Okay, so I'll dispose of this one, and maybe give it a few more minutes to see if another one appears.